Hello and welcome to RMU Live. I'm Austin Bexhold.
And I'm John Hanna, filling in for Andrew Ostrowski, who's out week to week with an upper body injury.
That would be it.
But this is actually the last time you'll see us as RMU Live.
We're changing it around a little bit.
Yeah, we're changing the name. New style show. So make sure to check out the show next Friday. But what do we got going on? Yeah, what do you have going on? What's around campus over the past week?
Well, John, there were a few noticeable events this past week that are worth mentioning. First up, Super Smash Brothers Club hosted their very own Super Smash Bros. Tournament at the Hale Center Thursday night. Also, the Addams Family Musical began Wednesday night at the Mazzy Theater. If you happen to miss the show's first two performances on Wednesday and Thursday, I will let you know how you can still see the show this weekend later on in the broadcast. This weekend is Family Weekend here at Robert Morris, and there are many events coming up around campus to celebrate with loved ones.
I'm Maureen Kiefer, and I'm the Assistant Dean of Students. So Family Weekend is an annual sort of event that we do, a lot of campuses do, right? An opportunity for parents and families to come back to visit their students and their campus kind of midway through the fall semester. So this year we have this upcoming weekend, on October 25th, 26th, and 27th. Really there's always a lot of things happening on campus, but on a family weekend type of weekend, we sort of promote all of the opportunities that are happening so that parents and families can pick and choose the things that they may like to attend. There's always a variety of athletic events. This time of year you might have football or hockey. We're fortunate to have both some Division I games as well as some of our club teams in action this weekend. We also are doing our fall colonial theater production of the Addams Family this weekend. So in addition to promoting that for folks to attend, we're also having sort of a special family reception on the Sunday afternoon. The matinee performance, will have that prior to the show for folks who would like to come to that. And again, it's really just an opportunity to spend a nice weekend on campus. Sometimes families would like to take advantage of the activities on campus. Sometimes they just want to connect with their students and maybe go off campus and do things in the community. We also have some student clubs and organizations that will hold particular events for their families during this weekend as well. Well, like I mentioned, the colonial theater folks are having their pre-show reception on Sunday. One of our sororities is hosting a family brunch event as well on that Sunday. And our National Society of Collegiate Scholars, which is an honor society for sophomore students, is holding their induction ceremony and reception on Sunday as well. Our Center for Global Engagement is also hosting study abroad sessions, something that they've done for the last couple of years, which families seem to have enjoyed the opportunity to learn more, about the opportunities for their students to study abroad in the different programs that the center offers. Our counseling center is also sort of having an open house Saturday afternoon. Violet and Dash are some of the most popular critters, dogs around campus come out of that office. So lots of students actually enjoy the opportunity to stop over there and introduce the Therapets to their families, and they'll have some refreshments and some information about their services and resources as well.
It's really good to see that there's many events coming up in RMU coming up this weekend. So now I'll throw it over to John Hanna, who's doing an interview with Patrick Moore. John, take it away.
Thank you, Austin. As you mentioned, I'm here with Patrick Moore, the president of Freedom Players.
Yes, sir.
So just give me a little run through. What is Freedom Players?
Freedom Players is Robert Morris's premier theater club on campus. We celebrate everything theater, whether it be backstage, on stage, focusing on events throughout campus where we raise money through acting. And we just are here to support everything about it, whether it be shows within the community, shows on campus, things like live TV.
And you mentioned those events on campus. Coming up in, I believe it's next week, you have Haunt You. Just what is that? Give me a little run through on what that is.
Yeah, so next Friday at 7:30, Freedom Players and Rock You are co-sponsoring an event called Haunt You. It'll be in John Jay. In the gym, there'll be a live concert performed by RMU students. They will be having a set that's Halloween focused, and then at the same time in the annex there'll be a haunted house put on by Freedom Players. There'll be food, there'll be a tarot card reader. Great time, great event for anyone to come next Friday night.
And who does that exactly benefit? What clubs or stuff does that benefit on campus?
So it's actually completely free for anyone to come. The two main clubs involved are Freedom Players and then Rock You. And then also we're going to be having a few other clubs doing like concessions, waiting to confirm, but there's definitely going to be popcorn, everything like that.
Nice. How did you get involved in Freedom Players?
Freshman year, actually, it was one of the first club meetings I went to. I had done theater and stage work all through high school, so when I saw there was a meeting calling all actors and dancers, things like that, I showed up and fell in love with Massey Theater and fell in love with the people who participate in the programs at RMU, and I've just been going every year since.
And are you involved in the Addams Family at all this year? Or?
Unfortunately not. My schedule wouldn't permit me to do a show this semester, but hopefully you'll catch me in another one at my last semester the coming semester. I can't speak.
And then you act? Do you do cast, crew, or?
I've done all sorts of different things. For events like previous years, haunted house like this, I've run behind the scenes. In a community theater, I've been a stage manager, and at RMU, I've done 4 separate shows being on stage.
Nice. And what's your role specifically as president for this Haunt You? What are you going to be, emceeing or?
So for the event itself, I'm going to be doing directing of operations. So you'll most likely see me at the entrance to the haunted house and at the entrance to the event itself, welcoming people, giving them an idea where to go, things to do, and just making sure everything stays on track, you know?
Yeah, and then other than, what else events do you have upcoming other than Haunt You?
Upcoming, we have our yearly holiday party where we have a nice gift exchange for everyone. Everyone brings a gift. We have food, hang out, just really get in the spirit of the holidays.
Nice. And you mentioned Rock You. Have you
Yes.
partnered with them? How many years, have you been doing Haunt You?
Well, this is the first year that we're actually partnering with Rock You. There has been a Freedom Players haunted house every year I've been here, and Rock You actually came forward. One of their members, Day Collins, came forward, and
I know Day.
you know Day.
Yeah,
Everyone knows Day.
Yeah, everybody knows Day.
So he came forward asking me if we wanted to do some kind of joint event, help give each other publicity for it, and really just benefit each other. So this is the first year that we're doing the joint event, and we really have high hopes for it.
Very nice. And you've mentioned it, but why should we, as the students of RMU, want to come to this event rather than, another haunted house in the area?
Well, one, it's completely put on by RMU students, so you can see the hard work that me and your fellow student body have put in. 2, it's right on campus, so if you live here, you don't got to travel, you don't got to spend gas money, you don't have to pay for an Uber, so that's nice. Completely free to come, always a plus, and just a good night after Halloween, might as well. Dress up, have a good time.
And I saw on your Revolution page
Yes.
That you're having a costume party.
Yes, so we really are encouraging everyone to come dressed up. We're hoping to have some prizes to give out to people who are there, but that's a surprise. You got to be there, experience it in person to find out about those special things.
And then, what's your favorite Halloween song?
Oh, gosh. I mean, can I go basic with Michael Jackson Thriller?
I mean, you can, but...
It's the classic.
It is. But, well, thank you very much.
Of course, thank you so much.
And I'm going to send it back over to Austin now. Who's going to... What do you have for us, Austin?
All right, thank you, John and Patrick. Coming up after the break, I'll be sitting down with Dr. Ann Jabro and her students, Brittany Claybaugh and Jewel Schmidt, here on RMU Live.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Oh, Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And welcome back to RMU Live. Last Friday, Austin Bechtold sat down with Adams Family Director Brett Alexander and Amber Antel, who stars as Wednesday Addams, to ask him a few questions about that show. Here's a small snippet in case you missed it.
Well, the show was chosen, most of our seasons are chosen the year before, so this would have been at the end of last semester in the spring. And I was set to music direct until about a month before the show, when I was asked to actually step into the director role. And it's just been an exciting whirlwind ever since, because it's a huge show.
So when we audition here, we actually do a pretty general audition process where we don't, some directors will ask you like, oh, what part do you want to play? And like he did. Some directors will just be like, I want to hear you and I'm going to place you where I think you fit. Wednesday, like this show, I've always wanted to do this show. I wasn't going to do the show this semester, and then I heard it was this show, and I was like, I'm fitting it into my schedule. I have to. Wednesday's like a dream role, like on the bucket list type of thing. So when I got cast, I was so excited. But as far as my like biggest challenge with this show, it's probably finding the character, because I'm very used to playing that sweet, innocent girl, and I have to find a little bit more of a serious, dark demeanor, which I think is in me as a person as well, like somewhere in there, but I really struggled to kind of find that a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that you should come out and see the show because, well, A, we've worked so hard, and it's a really fantastic show, absolutely. I think you're really missing out if you don't come see it. But it is a sequel to, you know, the story that you see on TV. And, you know, Wednesday's kind of grown up a little bit. And you kind of get to see a different side of things. And you get to see a musical side of things, which makes it really fun. So.
Yeah, well, it's campy, it's silly, it's family friendly, and you'll have a great time. And it's Halloween.
And it's Halloween. Great time to come out. Well, I appreciate both of you joining us. Director Brett Alexander.
Sure.
Wendy, Amber Ansel. Thank you both.
Austin will be back in the studio a bit later just to talk about when you can see the Addams Family. But actually, Austin's in the studio right now sitting down with some members of the First Amendment debate. So let's take it over there. Austin, what do you have for us?
All right, thank you, John. I'm here with Dr. Ann Javro and students Brittany Claybaugh and Jewel Schmidt. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about yourself to start off?
Been teaching at Robert Morris for over 20 years. I am an experiential learning junkie, which means that pretty much any class you take with me is the real deal. We're doing something that's directly related to the field.
Very nice.
I am a senior communication major with a concentration in public relations, and with that, I've taken many classes with Dr. Javro, and I can attest to the fact that she is all about experiential learning, and so we always have a really good time and learn a lot.
I'm Jules. I'm also a senior communication major with focus in PR, also sport management minor. And I've been in Dr. Javro's classes with Brittany pretty much like every class. And I actually take Dr. Javro because I know I can learn like hands-on experience that I'll definitely use in my job or in my field later on.
Well, that's very good to hear. Where did you guys come up with this idea of the First Amendment on trial?
Truthfully, I received an email. There was a call for proposals for a grant from Middle Tennessee University. They have a Center for the First Amendment, and they are focused on the All for One campaign. And I sent out an email to my colleagues in political science and said, would anyone like to do this with me? And Professor David Jameson literally responded in seconds and said, this sounds interesting. So we applied for the grant, and we were notified in June that we were recipients, and literally he came up with the idea of putting the First Amendment on trial, and I'm teaching social media and public relations, and so we are literally, I liken it to building a 747 while we're flying in it. So we're sometimes hanging out at the side of the plane and going, oh, who knows where the wing is, but we're moving at a great rate of speed in terms of comprehension and learning all the components of social media in a campaign environment. And our first show goes up 9 weeks after the semester, so it's started. It's been amazing.
So you said that the process has just been a little rocky, but it's basically worth it though, right?
I hope.
We haven't hit too much turbulence yet. We didn't know we were going to be pilots going into the class, but.
So I'll ask both of you, why did you want to become a part of this?
So I've always been interested in learning more about social media because from a lot of my classes, I know that you need to know these things, and for internships and jobs, it's important to know, but I was like, I need to learn more about it. And so I signed up for the class, saw that Dr. Jabro was teaching it, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. We're going to learn a lot. And she kind of just threw us in. That's your thing, that's what you do, and we do learn from it. So we were like, okay, let's take this and let's roll with it.
Exactly. Like going into the class, it was definitely not what I expected, but it's been great so far. I mean, we're like learning the stuff and doing it at the same time, which is challenging, but it's also so like helpful, like to learn it while you're actually doing it.
So Brittany and Jules, I'll ask you both, what do you hope to learn throughout this whole experience?
I've learned so much more already about the First Amendment, about what it takes to actually execute a campaign. All the other classes I've had, we've created campaigns, but we haven't actually gotten to execute them and send them out. So it's, you run and you learn it as you're going, and I've learned so much about the First Amendment already that I didn't know. And I'm an American citizen, so I should definitely know these things.
I mean, I'm not an American citizen, but
Two different points here.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, you know, I'm not from America, but I know those freedoms are like universal. And I think like learning about them and like, this is an awareness campaign. We want people to like know what this is all about, and we want them to learn and about their freedoms and everything. So I think it's just like a great cause to be part of, to like, you know, get the word out and like spread the awareness.
Yeah, it's really nice. So how will people be able to view this event? Are you going to have an audience for it?
Yes, so we're going to have a live studio audience in the studio right here next Thursday, October 31st at 1:30, and we'll also be streaming it on Facebook, and we're just going to package it up so that it can be kind of a universal thing. It doesn't have to be set in time. You could watch it at any time, and high schools are going to watch it, and students at RMU can watch it.
That's very nice. So how will people be able to vote on a winner of the debate?
So we're going to do a live studio audience vote. We're going to have a ballot in studio, and then also we're going to try to have a link so that people can vote on it that are watching the live stream, and the high school students also will be tallying up their votes, sending it in, and it's all going to happen during the process of the show that we're going to announce the winner and which case was basically argued the best.
And that's really what we want to focus, that this is about learning. So the students from the political science class, Civil Liberties with Dave Jamieson, are actually debating. They're given a case, and they each have 15 minutes to present their information. And the audiences, both electronic and live in this studio, will have the opportunity to determine who created the best arguments. So there's really not a winner or a loser. Philosophically, it's who created a persuasive argument that you can agree with. That's what being on trial is all about, right?
So would you say that that's your ultimate goal, to be able to come up with something like that is basically the basis of, you know, a good argument? There's no winner or loser, but just provides like two good points to the table?
Exactly, and it provides for them the opportunity to debate, to have exposure in a mediated setting. Most students don't get the opportunity to be on live TV. For my students to conduct the research that they did, they literally developed surveys and in-depth interview protocols where they went out, talked to people, found out that most people don't know all the freedoms of the First Amendment, and then from that created personas and objectives for their campaign, and then the distribution channels. And we'll literally be evaluating the effectiveness of what we did and understanding if we made a difference. Did people learn about the First Amendment freedoms afforded by that particular piece of legislation? And secondly, are we effective as public relations practitioners in getting people excited and wanting to participate?
Well, it sounds like a great event, and I hope you get a good turnout for it. We're really looking forward to it here. So, Dr. Ann Javero, Brittany Claybaugh, Joel Schmidt, I thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Thank you. So, now we'll send it back over to John and Hannah.
The First Amendment debate start next Thursday, or next Friday, excuse me, the 31st. To Debates start at 1:30, and if you want to come and watch, head over to the studio here at Patrick Henry 120, 130. And to stay updated on more international and local news, be sure to tune in on RMU Live on Monday at 1 p.m. We have lots of sports, and if you want, check out Sports Talk in the Berg at 5 p.m. on Wednesday in Colonial Sports Center. Our bread and butter. It's really all our bread and butter, but Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. And coming up after the break, I'm going to be sitting down with Tyler Gallo to discuss all the RMU sports you need to know.
Problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Hello and welcome back to RMU Live. I'm here with Tyler Gallo. Thanks for joining me, Tyler.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, we have some sports coming up. So tonight, we actually have a sport going on right now.
Yeah, that's right. Women's soccer is in action right now at Central Connecticut State. It started at 12, and they're in action right now. We've got plenty of sports. We've got women's hockey tonight. We've got men's hockey coming up later.
Women's hockey, number 8 women's hockey is taking on their 3rd straight top 5 opponent in Cornell at 6 o'clock. That's in Cornell.
Yeah.
Men's hockey taking on number 12 Penn State. And what do we have tomorrow coming up as well?
Oh, we have men's hockey tomorrow. We have more men's soccer tomorrow as well. We got a lot of sports in action this weekend.
We also have football tomorrow.
Yeah, football, big game for them. Seeing if they can go 3-0 in the NEC for the first time in God knows how long.
That's actually my game to watch.
Yeah.
RMU football taking on Bryant tomorrow at noon. It's actually here at Robert Morris. First home game in a while, but they're closing out the season with a lot of those. 4 out of their last 5 are at Joe Walton Stadium. Robert Morris 2-0 in the NEC. Can you guess the last time they went 3-0 in this conference?
I want to say it's at least back in 2010. That's got to be
2010 exactly.
Yeah, that's. I was still in elementary school back then, so yeah, that's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. But you know why that's my game to watch? Bryant is allowing the 2nd most yards in the NEC right now on the ground, and Elijah Jackson for the Colonials has the 2nd most yards in the NEC, averaging 99.7 yards a game, so almost 100, and he has 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be a very exciting game, and it's at home. There's only 2 home games this weekend anyway, so not a lot of action to catch your Colonials, but that is one of the games you want to catch your Colonials on. And then my game to watch, we're going to go to the ice. It's going to be women's hockey. 3rd straight ranked opponent, as we mentioned, and they just played a really good series against
Clarkson.
Yeah. And
basically just a big old 9-8 game. Tied the first game, lost the second in overtime.
And their ranking is exactly where they want to be. You know, Emily Curlette had an insane series. You know, JC Gebhardt.
She's just an insane player.
Yeah, she's a really good player. And,
honest.
JC Gebhardt and Lexi Templeman continuing to be on fire. And Michaela Boyle really shocking her old team. She used to be on Clarkson. So, yeah, that's my game to watch this weekend. Any of the games against Cornell.
All right, and we're going to send it back over to Austin Bechtold, who's going to give us some of the events around our...
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood. Next Thursday?
Seriously?
Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
And welcome back to RMU Live. So we have a couple events coming up in total this weekend. What do we have, Austin, coming up in Pittsburgh and at Robert Morris?
We sure do, John. There are many events around campus and around Pittsburgh to be at this weekend. One to be at as we near Halloween is Fright Night at Kennywood Park. Get ready for a night full of scares once you enter the park.
Wow. I know Kennywood season's closing. That's going to be fun to go to and scary.
Only a couple rides open, but go in there.
What do we have at campus?
It's like a haunted house. So at campus, one event to look forward to is Office of Residence Life is hosting a Minute to Win It event for alcohol awareness at Salem Lower Lobby tonight at 9 p.m. If you ever want to find more events, both upcoming or already happening around campus, make sure to check out Revolution for more details.
But for my place to be, I know we're talking about that. I've talked about it earlier today. It's football. They're taking on Bryant. It's a winnable game. Bryant's run defense they're decent, but Elijah Jackson, almost 100 yards per play or per game. He's a real threat on the ground. Where's your place to be? It's this Saturday, noon at Joe Walton Stadium. And what's your place to be?
That is definitely a great place to be, but my place to be is to see the Addams Family. I had an interview last week about it. If you missed the show so far this week, there's performances coming up on Friday and Saturday nights at 7:30, and the play concludes with its final show Sunday at 2 p.m. Definitely something that you should go check out. They're doing a really nice job there in the theaters.
It's also family weekend.
It is family weekend.
Is your family coming up?
My family is not. I'm actually going to see them this
Very
weekend,
nice.
going back home.
Very nice. Mine's unfortunately not. They're all the way up in New York, so.
Yeah, Buffalo's got a feeling, though.
You know how, talking proud.
Talking Bills, too.
But, it's still great to see them, whether it's your family or other families of your friends that you know from Baldwin. It's just great to always see them.
Right, it sure is. Always great to see them, spend time with them.
Yeah, and there's there's some events going on today as well. Mentioned the play. We have the Minute to Win It coming up. Football. Just some great events coming up on campus around the couple weekends. And all these Halloween events.
Right, as you and Tyler were mentioning earlier, football trying to be 3-0 in NEC play for the first time
since 2010. You were what, like 7?
I was in grade school, so I don't even know what grade I was in. I can't even remember, but pretty crazy, pretty great to see the success that they're having so far in NEC play this year.
Yes, it is. And First Amendment next Thursday, at 1:30 here in the studio. Yeah. That'll be fun to watch. I unfortunately have class, but are you going to be going to that?
I also have class 12:30 to 1:45, so I'm going to try to catch it on the streams, try to be able to watch it. Should be a fun event to see.
But thank you for spending your afternoon with us here. For more information on news, sports, and arts and entertainment, visit RMU-CenturyMedia.com.
That's all we have for today on RMU Live. Make sure to keep up with all our other programs here on RMU-TV and check out CenturyMedia.com for all things happening.
Have a great day, and we will see you next week, not as RMU Live.
It'll be different.